Welcome, everyone, to day 4. Can you believe we're 4 days into the Monetize Your Socials boot camp? My name is Mandy Summers. I am your host for this boot camp, and I'm so happy that you decided to be here with us and that you are wanting to discover ways to monetize your influence online. This is going to be a really fun class today, where I'm going to teach you how to simplify your systems. And so when a lot of times when people get started online, they start to think that they don't really they just need to post and lead to a link, and that's all that they need in order to make money online. And what I have found is, as I want to grow and expand, it is critical, it's crucial, it's absolutely necessary to have systems in place. And so today we are going to jump into those systems. We're going to do some of my favorite ones. I'm going to share with you things that I have learned, mistakes that I have made, and I'm also going to share things that have helped me to be super successful. So I hope that you're ready to take notes. I would actually love for you to tell me in the comments. In fact, John just it reminded me right before this. I always forget this aspect of things, but this is a free boot camp for anybody who wants to watch. I love providing this content. And so I have a little ask for you. I'm just wondering and we'll send an email out about this as well, but you can put this in the comments. If you can give us a little review of what you've thought so far of this boot camp, so that we can screenshot it and share it with other people who might be considering coming in and doing this boot camp in the future. And so you can either jump on, and I'll send a link out to our Google review. You can add it here in the comments if that's easiest. You can even give us a review on Facebook at Mandy Summers. My page is just Mandy Summers on there. Those are all great places to give us a little shout out if you've enjoyed this, or even if you have some feedback for us. We would absolutely love that. So today is going to be jam-packed. And the very first thing that I always like to do when we're talking about systems is give you a little bit of a heads up that this can definitely get overwhelming. And so I want you to accept that and just realize today might feel a little overwhelming. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do this. That doesn't mean that this is not right for you. What that means is you are expanding your mind. You're expanding your ability to learn and grow. And today, I'm going to share with you some of the things that it takes to grow an online business. And just like you would go to college, just like any of the things that you need to learn how to do that will be challenging, this will be one of those things that can be a little challenging. And so that's going to feel totally normal. If you are not already in our Monetize Your Socials group, go ahead and jump in here. This is our free group that we have where we announce all of our events. This is also where you put your homework assignments every single day, so that you have some accountability. I love this group because it's a great place for us to gather, and just as business owners, we do have our Monetize Your Socials coaching group as well, which is $97 a month. And that's where you actually get to get on live calls with me on a weekly basis and chat all things monetization for your social, along with systems. But John, I'm sure he already dropped the link to that group. I love it. This is a brand new group, and it's growing. We're almost to 100. And so just in a week, that's really awesome. The other thing, if you've signed up for our notifications, you have probably been getting our notifications for this week, but this is a great way to get the direct Zoom link to any of our live classes directly into your Facebook Messenger. And so if you want that, John's actually going to drop a link to that in the comments below. You can get notifications for every time that we're going to do a live event. And that's a great way to stay connected and have that direct link, and we've tried really hard to make sure our links are right. A lot of times, for some reason, they can get a little jumbled, but this week they've actually worked really well. So, and then of course, we also have our Instagram chat. And so if you're wanting to be in our chat channel, John will also drop that link. Let me just grab this real quick. We've got our Facebook messengers. Oh, good. John's got it going. And then our Instagram chat. This is another great way to stay connected. I post a few different things in this chat. Basically, if you love Instagram, this is a great place to connect with us. I post reminders on here as well. And then let's jump right in to talking about setting up systems. So the other day I was on a walk with some of my friends and we were talking about normal things. And then right towards the end, it changed. They started asking me questions about building an online business. And so I said something like, oh, yeah, we have an SOP for that, like whatever. I can't even remember what we were talking about. And she was like, wait, what is an SOP? And so I thought I would start today with that. SOP is a standard operating procedure. So when you have SOPs, you have a guideline of how to do different things. And I will tell you, so today I promise to give you the what to do and what not to do. And what not to do is to not put these together at the beginning. So this was something that I put off. And the thing that it did for me is when we started growing to a large scale, it made it really hard to duplicate myself because I had not set these up. And so it's very important that you begin cataloging the procedures that you do so that you can then hand that off to people who can help you in the future and they'll do it just like you do it. So we actually have a document that we use, and I was thinking I probably should create this as a freebie without all of our stuff in there that you can go through and add your stuff to. It's not done yet, but as I was prepping for this, I was like, oh, I probably should have done that. And so we have like all of the links to our different courses that we have. We have our affiliate links. We've got our training videos. We've got our daily SOPs for social media posts, our bootcamp SOPs, our pixel video ideas. These are just like creating a new course, like what it takes to create a new course so that if I am like, okay, I have this great idea to create a course, then I can actually create the course and I can hand it off to John and he can actually do a lot of the back end work so that I can focus in on the front end work. So creating a standard operating procedure document is super, super important. Okay, so I want to pause and I want to ask in the comments, put a 1 if you have SOPs for your business and put a 2 if you don't. And maybe you haven't even thought about doing them. I'm just curious to see if this is something that, okay, so oh, good. We've got 1-1. It's awesome. Sandra, I know it can be a little overwhelming, which is probably one reason why I put it off for so long. But I actually came up with a really cool way of doing this. I got to a point where I realized that I needed, this was something that had to happen. And I'm really a voice memo type person, a video type person. And so I spent my time, actually, when we sat down to do the course one, I went into John's office and I was like, okay, here's the spreadsheet. I'm going to walk you through the process. And he just took notes throughout the entire process. So I was like, okay, first step we do is this. And then, from there, here's the second step. So it doesn't have to be super overwhelming. You can just talk through it, open up a voice memo or a Google Docs. You can actually turn a voice recording on where it will transcribe it for you. There's also rev.com will do like 600 minutes of free transcription. So you can just just start talking, upload it to rev.com and you should be good to go from there. And then you can edit it that way. So those are some great ideas for doing that. Yes. And then Sandra said Notebook LM, which is literally one of my favorite AIs. I've used that multiple times this week. That's another great one to put in. Yeah, the best one ever. I love Notebook LM. It is absolutely phenomenal. That is such a valuable tool to be using. So I wanted to start with SOPs. So let's talk a little bit about, now that you have that in your mind, what is needed? what is needed to build out this online system? What's needed to build out a system that you can support you in your monetization journey? Now, I want you to think about what it takes, what is needed for you to go to work. If you are somebody who goes to work every day, what has to happen to get you to work? Now, pre the shutdown, it used to be that you would have to get in a car. It's not so much anymore, but let's just say we're pre-shutdown. Most people have to figure out a way to get to their job. They have to get some transportation. That requires that you learn either how to use the transportation system. Has anybody ever like visited a big city and you're maybe somebody who's driven your whole life and you're like, how do I use the tracks system? Like every time I get so nervous because it's not something I'm super used to. It's very uncomfortable because I'm better equipped to drive instead of riding public transportation. And so but both of those things are things we have to learn how to do. Same thing with getting on an airplane. You got to learn how to get on and schedule the flight, and then you actually have to get to the airport. So these are things I'm sharing this with you because we had to learn how to drive. We have to learn how to use public transportation. Building a system online is the same. It's something that we have to learn, and then it will just become second nature. Now I can jump in a car and drive anywhere without any nervousness, right? Because I know how to drive. That was not the case when I was learning how to drive. I was shaking, I was scared, it was stressful. And so we literally have to make efforts. We have to learn how to put gas in our car. This is actually super funny. My third child for some reason was nervous, like she stressed over putting gas in her car. So she would drive her car to zero and then she'd be like, Mom, I can't drive anymore. You're going to have to drive me to school because my car's out of gas. And we would have to go put gas in. And John was like, you have to learn how to put gas in your car. But she just had this, it was just like nervous for her. Just like that. When we're building out a system, there are things that will make us nervous, that will be hard for us. Then once we get to work, we actually have to learn how to use the technology there. We have to learn how to use the computer. We have to get on phone calls and be uncomfortable with that. And then let's say your job is specializing in something. I could never build a building because I do not have the experience with it. I would actually have to go and learn how to do that. So I am sharing all of this because so often we think in our minds, oh, doing something online should be super simple. It shouldn't really challenge me in the same way a normal job would. And that is the farthest thing from the truth that ever. Like building online requires strategy, it requires processes, it requires systems, and it requires that you learn and you adapt and you allow yourself to grow in your job. And your job is producing content for online, monetizing your content. Now that's going to look different for all of us. All of like, depending on which monetization strategy you decide to jump into, if you're going to go the sponsorship route where you're going to try and get sponsors for things, well, there's multiple ways to get sponsors. One could be because you have a big following and you want that to convert. And if that's the case, then you're going to be doing a lot of email outreach to those companies that best align with you. And but you could also, maybe you're really good on camera. Like obviously I love teaching. And so I was thinking as we've been going through all of this, my next sponsor outreach is going to be to specific platforms that they need influencers to teach about their platform. And I want you to think about this. When you're thinking about companies that you want to have sponsor you, if they were to, and let's just say you found a product that did need a little bit of teaching to go along with it, and you approached them and said, hey, I would love to do a 3-part series that teaches how, like, anybody who's brand new, how to use your platform. If they were to do this project just in-house, they would have to hire actors, they'd have to hire camera crews, they'd have to hire editors, all of those things. So when you get ready to talk about being sponsored by them, it doesn't have to be that you're being sponsored to just create content for social media that drives traffic. It could be that you are creating content that they can use over and over again in advertising, in onboarding their people. There's so much that you can do, because that way they don't have to hire 15 people to create this project. If it's something good like that, I can bust these things out like no other. And so, and I'm sure you can do things like that as well. So when that happens, it's like, okay, I have to learn the skill of approaching a company in that sense of the word, instead of it being the traditional sponsorship way. And so as we're kind of going through this class today, I'm hoping that you're going to start thinking, okay, what are the things that I need in order to monetize my social media? So let's talk about the customer journey. And I've talked about the customer journey a couple times this week. I actually have a brand new course coming out on the customer journey that is a free course that you can access. It's right now. Let me just see. I put that in there. Okay. We'll drop this link in there for you. This video is not published yet. So as soon as I publish it, it's in our summer school platform. You'll be able to see it, but I basically walk you through this entire process. So this is the customer journey. And I'm not going to do a full hour presentation on it today, but I am going to take you through it in a very short, succinct way, because you have to understand there are tools that you need for every single part of this journey. So obviously content, when we're creating content, we have to be able to film it and then edit it and then post it. And so there are a lot of programs that are great for that. I use CapCut. I use another program called Descript. Descript is a really great program for editing, if that's something that you want. And John, if you open up our SOPs, I think that there's a link for Descript in our affiliate section. So if that's something that you want to check out, can you post that in the comments for us? And then obviously social planners. Now, I am of the opinion that on most websites, you're definitely going to want to schedule through that website, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. You want to pre-schedule your content through those. But there's other platforms like Pinterest, where if you want to compete, you need to be posting between 5 to 100 pins per day in order to get seen. And so for those ones, you definitely need a different type of content creator or content poster. And then we've got our second part, which is, so number one, our content is our awareness module. Then we've got the engage module, which is number 2. And this is through comments, messages, emails. And this one is something that you definitely, like we talked about ManyChat this week. And I'm going to walk you through my favorite email program that I have. And so John, will you post the ManyChat link in there as well? These are programs that you definitely need to utilize if you want to simplify your system, which is what we're talking about today. Make it so that you're not always having to be on the platform and you can put your energy into other projects. That's the key, is putting energy into the projects that you need. So you set the systems and then you can walk away and work on really like the creation portion of everything. And then of course we've got our number 3, which is our subscribe module. And that's where we do our freebies. This is where we offer all of our free things to get people into our system, to nurture them, to help them get to know us. Once they're in there, we move up into our convert portion, which is where we do our classes, our appointments, our webinars. And so typically in the freebie section, this is where we're building out funnels. We're putting forms on there. This is where we're collecting the information from them. And then in number 4, which is our convert module, this is where we are providing the information to them. We're connecting with them. And so one of my favorite platforms for this is StreamYard. StreamYard is awesome. And I'll actually walk you through how to use StreamYard. But John, I think we have a link for StreamYard as well. StreamYard actually allows you to go live on multiple platforms. So right now we are live on 3 platforms because we have StreamYard set up. It's something that we're able to use. And so then from there, the next step is the buy-in process. This is really where they get excited. This is where they've bought a product and they're learning and they're super excited about whatever the product is. That then moves us into the number 6, which is our ascend model or module, where they start to see results. And when they see results, that's why it's like a stair going up. They start to ascend to where they want to get to. So anytime we're talking customer journey, we want to talk about where they're starting. This is why on step number 1, when on day 1, we went in and did our ideal client. We figured out who is our ideal client and what are their pain points. Because when you know their pain points, you can then help them see they are at point A, and you're going to help them ascend to whatever solution that you provide. Where you start them is where they're struggling. Where you're getting them to is where they want to be. It's that place where they want to be. And so you go from, that's what this whole customer journey is. We want them to get results. And then in step number 7, this is where they become an advocate for what you're doing. This is where they become an advocate for your products. And that's through more education that you're providing to them until they themselves become a promoter for your product, and they start referring people back. And then we're back to square one, where they are coming into the content and we're taking them through. So this is the customer journey. And along this process, I utilize multiple platforms to help me in this customer journey. So the number 1 platform that literally saved my life when I first got started in here. So just to give you a little reference, when I started growing online, I was using a website program. I was paying for hosting. I also had ClickFunnels, which is a funnel building program. I had ActiveCampaign. I'd also used MailChimp. Those were for email systems. I was using ManyChat. So I had a ton of these platforms that I was utilizing, that I then had to figure out, okay, how do I pull contacts from my email list or my ClickFunnels and put them into my email list? How do I create a community? So I also had Teachable. I've tried Thinkific. So those are where you build courses. How do I pull the people from there into my email? And what we had to do was create what's called a bunch of zaps. These are Zapiers, where you'd zap information from one platform to another. So I felt like I had contacts all over the map. I had them in my Facebook Messenger. I had them in my Instagram Messenger. I had them in my email list, in my courses. I had them on paper. Put a P in the comments if you've ever had a stack of leads that you're like, oh my gosh, I got to put these. I had a ton in Excel spreadsheets. Put an E in there if you've ever had Excel spreadsheets that are just full of contacts, and you're just like, I'm not quite sure what to do with this. So in order for me to get to a space where I could not just grow online, but grow effectively, I had to put everything into one space, because I was feeling scattered, and a scattered mind has a really hard time moving forward. A scattered mind makes it so that it's hard for us to make decisions. It's hard for us to create content. We have to get organized, which is another reason why I'd love for you to do some of those SOPs, so that you feel like, okay, I'm making progress. There's a way for me to move forward. There's a system that I'm following. And so I spent some time doing some research, and I found this amazing platform. And this platform is called Social Fox. And I'm going to walk you through kind of all the things that it helps with. And let me pull up the right account for this. We'll actually use this account for it. So Social Fox, John, will you post a link to our Social Fox? It's actually in the SOP document, so that you can check this out. You'll get a 14-day free trial. I love it. Lisa's like, I love Social Fox. It's so true. It has saved my life on so many occasions. So basically what this is a beefed up CRM. A CRM is a customer relationship management system, but it comes with everything you need in one place. In fact, you can actually do some of what ManyChat does in here as well. And so if you're like, "Ooh, should I do ManyChat or this?" I would actually say do this before you do ManyChat. But this is going to have way more capability than any other platform that you are a part of. And so basically, what happens is all of your contacts, all of your messages come into one tab, the conversation tab. So your Instagram messages, your Facebook messages, your emails, your text messages, they all come into one tab. So I can pull up someone's contact information and I can see all the conversations that we've had across the board. This is very helpful. So I'm not like, okay, what did I say on Instagram? What did I say on Facebook? It's all in one place. So I love the conversation tab. You can also like tag people. You can take notes on kind of where they're at in the process. Then we've got our calendars tab, and the calendars. This replaces Calendarly or Schedule Once. So instead of needing to pay for those services, which are typically right around $20 to $40 a month. Instead of that, you can do this all right here. And so all of your schedules are like contacts are going to come in here and they're going to get emails from you from that same email. And it's going to be it's so much better because I was using Schedule Once before I jumped into Social Fox. Then from there, you have a contact section, and I'm not going to click on that because I'm live on YouTube right now. But and if it's got any information in there, they'll block this video, and I don't want that to happen. And so, but what happens in the contact cards are you can sort people depending on how they're interacting with your content. You can see how they came into your content. So if you run an ad, you can see that they came in from a specific ad. If you maybe did an Instagram post, you can see that they came in through the Instagram post. If they downloaded a free guide, you can see that they did a free guide. And it will tell you exactly where they came in from. So it's super, super helpful to have that right there. And then every time they interact with your content, then you're going to see what they've done, which landing pages they've been on. There's like a full map that you can follow with that. So it's really, really awesome. Then along with that, you can sort them. You can sort them by like things that they've said in forms. Like there's so many things. So and maybe as I go through, it'll make a little more sense. Then you've got the opportunities. This is kind of like setting up. I'm actually going to click out of that because I don't want to show anything personal, but it's kind of like setting up a sales system where you can see where people are at in the sales process. And so let's say somebody comes in and downloads a free guide, and then you send them an email that's like, hey, jump into this class, and they jump into the class. You can actually move them to, they made it to a class, and that can all be automated. So now instead of having to have a CRM that kind of does some of this for you, it's all built in based on how they're interacting with your content. And then you can take payments through this, which has been amazing. Can I just tell you, I built multiple websites in my past where we had to take payment, and it is not easy to do that. And so the fact that it's all built in here is amazing. They take PayPal, they take Apple, things like that. And so, and just to be clear, if you click on that link, I am affiliated with it, so I will get an affiliate commission off of that. I want to be clear about that before anybody's like, "Oh, I didn't realize." But that's the other thing is once you start using this platform, you can actually become an affiliate as well and share it with your other business friends. So then we have our marketing section. This is where you can build out beautiful emails. You can set some pretty cool things that are like called trigger links, where if you've got an email and they click on something, you can then set an automation to say, hey, they clicked on this, so send them this email instead. And then our automation section is our email section. It's not just for emails though, it's for so many other things. It's for your course creation. Like let's say you create a course. In fact, just yesterday we were helping one of our students with this. And she had created a course, maybe it was 2 days ago. What day is it? Thursday. Yeah. She had created a course, and she was wanting to be notified when they finished one of the modules in her course. And so we set up an automation that said, hey, when the course is this module is completed, send her an email so she could follow up. So it's really unlimited with what you can do in here. This is where you would set your Instagram replies to DMs, things like that. But it's also where you can set like a series of 90 emails that go out one a day. Once you have it set, it will take like 2 or 3 hours to set that up. Now you've got 90 days worth of emails that are all set, ready to go, one a day. It's absolutely incredible. Phenomenal. And so I love having that. Then we've got our sites, and in our sites, you can see we've got funnels, we've got websites, we've got stores. So this replaces your Shopify's. You can have multiple websites, tons of funnels. This is where you can do webinars. You can also create a blog in here. Also, this was something I was using a ton of. And so I kind of want you to put the hat on of where are you at in your business? When I first got started, I was trying to collect information from people, and I was using Google Forms to do that because that was what I knew. It was free, it was easy. So I had contacts in Google Forms, I had contacts in my email system and all over the map. Well, you can do forms, surveys, and quizzes right here. So when somebody comes in, you can go in and see how many people filled out this form, what were their responses, and then you can sort them based on what they said. So let's say you are a dog trainer and you create a form for people who want you to train their dog. And on the form, you say something like, please indicate which breed your dog is. And then you have an option of like 25 different breeds. I know there's way more, but it's like golden retriever, golden doodle, a pug. Like you go through whatever they click on there, you can actually set an automation up to tag them. And so then okay, I want to send an email to just my golden retriever people because I've got this really great video that came out for golden retrievers. You can sort by that. So it's very, very powerful. Let's see. Okay, so I see that somebody is trying to, so I will, Jana, I'll jump on and I will message you right after it saying, I'm trying to join Social Fox from your link, but it doesn't seem to respond when I click the free trial. Can you contact me later? I totally will, Jana. And I'm sorry, I don't know why that's not working right now. And actually, that's not something that I can personally fix. That is something that we'll have to have them fix. So let's just check that out. So there's so many powerful things that you can do when you get started with this system. And so you can see right here, there's so many great things. We've even got QR code things. When you jump into Social Fox, you can go try it for free. And then it will take you here. You can come down and you can choose to do either an annual subscription or monthly. And the monthly subscriptions are $197 per month. I would recommend joining at this level here as you're getting started. And then you should have a 14-day free trial that comes along with that. So that's kind of where you go from there, but I'll check that out later, Jana, as soon as we're off of here. Okay. And this is like the insane part. Okay. This week we have been talking about how do we monetize our social medias. And we've talked a lot about building digital courses, and we've talked about building membership sites. Now, when I was using Thinkific and Teachable, it was $99 a month minimum, or Kajabi. Kajabi, I think, is $197 per month, just for the membership portion of that program. And that's one reason why I love Social Fox, because it's $197 and you get everything. I was paying $79 for Active Campaign. I was paying I think I was $297 for ClickFunnels, and it's all in one place. Plus I was hosting my website. So it's absolutely a steal to do this. And so you have this ability to set up membership sections in here. And so you can set up as many courses as you want. Like if you are somebody who you're like, oh, I've got 25 course ideas, this is definitely what you're going to want to use. Or if you're somebody who you're like, ooh, I really want to build out communities. And just like we've got our Monetize Your Socials communities, then I can click on groups and I can set up a community of that's off of any other platform. So if Facebook decides that they change their mind on something, I have my communities in my own space. And then when people join my community, I'm gathering their information, I'm getting their email, so I can then in turn nurture them. The other thing I love is that you can set up certificates when you're building out courses. You can once they are done, they can actually get a certificate for that. You can even see the progress that they're making on the courses that they have access to. And your communities are actually linked into your courses. And so this is just like school. School is another platform. It's $97 a month and it's just for community building. Well, the cool thing is you don't need school. You can literally use Social Fox and have all of the same features that you have with school, except that it's connected to your platform where you've got your funnels and your products. And so in your communities, you can build out your memberships in there as well. It's absolutely incredible, 100% incredible. So when you come back and you start thinking, okay, what do I need and where do I need it? What exactly am I looking for? If I want to monetize my social media, I'm ready to like jump in and create some content. Then and in fact, Social Fox even has a social media content planner up here. Somewhere in here, there's a planner. I think it's in marketing actually, where you can schedule out I actually don't use it. So I use a different one. And so anyway, somewhere in here, there's a social media planner. So you can even get rid of that social media planner membership if that's something that you're using. You post your content. That is number one. Most people think I post content, I should make a sale, but that's not how it happens. We post content, we engage with them. And so we post our content. We've got our email system all set up, our reply system set up. We gather their information. We're able to set up a funnel. And I actually want to show you how quick and easy it is to set up a funnel. Real quick, what time is it? 12:38. Okay. So all you have to do is come into new funnel. You're going to click templates, continue. You can find a template that resonates best with you. Let's say we are going to do this one right here. So we're going to click continue. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute to drop it into your account. As soon as you drop it in there, you can begin to edit it. It's literally drag and drop. It's like if you can do Canva, you can build a funnel. And I love this, that it's so easy, because I have built websites and funnels for years and years now, and it has not been that easy until now. And so just remember, just like everything else that you're doing, like just like going to work, it's just something that you have to learn. But once you build that funnel and you've got it set, you can use that forever. It's so funny. A lot of people will say, oh, how many freebies do I need? Well, up until about 3 months ago, I had one freebie that I used for like 5 years, and it brought me loads of leads every single day. And so I set one funnel up, and that's all I needed. So you'll just come in here, you can click on whatever it is that you want to edit. You can change up the colors of it. You can change up the pictures that are behind it. They're right here. We could, delete the picture if we didn't want that in there. You can change up the fonts. The fonts are right up here. So right here, content font. You're just going to do a custom, and there's literally thousands and thousands of fonts that you could use. It's so simple. It's so much simpler than before. And on top of that, you have access to SEO. So right here, let's just see here. We've got your SEO metadata, you add that in here. So all those keywords that we've been talking about, your tracking code that you have access to, like if you are running ads, you'll put that right in. All of this is so much simpler than it used to be. It's absolutely phenomenal. And so that's the basics of setting up a system. So then from there, that is your funnel. You get that all set. Once you set that funnel up and they click the button, they put their information in, then that's when you set up your automation and you take them through. You're like, here, this is, let's download or deliver whatever freebie it is, whatever the class is, and then you can start nurturing them. This is, in my opinion, I wish I would have started list building so much sooner. Like, if there's nothing you take from this class from this week, it's except for this, the one thing I want you to take is I should be list building. I should be building an email list effectively. And I should be asking people for their contact information so that they have access to all of the different products that you put out there into the world. So to simplify your system, you have to understand, like, what are the tools that you need? What is the purpose? This is why this week I've been like, identify your ideal client, figure out what their pain points are. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's my presentation one. Figure out what their pain points are. And then from there, we can decide what are the products that you're going to be offering them. What is like, are you going to be doing a membership? Are you going to be doing affiliate marketing? If you are affiliate marketing, you definitely need your email system set up. And so to simplify that, I highly recommend that you get into a system where it's all in one place. You do not want to be piecing together all of these different things. You want to be able to open up one system and say, okay, I'm going to build this funnel, and in the funnel, I'm going to put a form that they have to fill out because I like want to do some consultation and I want to know exactly what they are struggling with. And then once they do that, I want to make sure and send this email. You want that all in one place. You don't want that pieced out to 25 different platforms. So when we look at this, we think, okay, email and ManyChat, I use a lot here. I use email, ManyChat, and funnels a ton here. Here I'm using Zoom and StreamYard and my appointment calendars that are in my Social Fox account. I'm using email marketing for that as well. In this one, I'm using my membership site. In Social Fox, I'm building out my programs in Social Fox so that they have access to more learning from me. And I'm also using my email system. Then here, and actually in all of these areas, I'm building community. You saw at the very beginning, I was like, jump into our community here, go onto Instagram to get into our community there. You want to be building those communities throughout the entire system, but you have to have a place to send them. So before I had a community on Social Fox, I actually would send them to Facebook. So there are a couple different options. You can see I literally, even on Social Fox, you have the ability to set up an affiliate portal where it will calculate all the commissions and everything that come when people share your products. And so you can, for this entire process, use Social Fox for that. That's simplifying it down. Now, you could break it up. And so let's talk about what, if you are like, I don't want to do Social Fox right now, maybe you don't have the budget, let's break it up. So in the content area, this is where I would use Meta Business Suite to pre-schedule out all of my content, my YouTube studio. I'd pre-schedule my content there. And then on this one, I would use something like MailChimp. MailChimp is a very cheap and inexpensive email program, but there are a lot of stipulations that go along with that. Sherry, yes, ManyChat is friendly with Facebook and Instagram. And I believe that they're starting to, I think I just saw TikTok that it's beta-ing, and then that you also can use it with WhatsApp. So, and John will drop the link to ManyChat as well. So ManyChat would be great here. MailChimp is another great program that has, like I said, it's got some stipulations. They will not allow affiliate marketing through their email, but you can actually gather email through their system. And so, it's like $10 a month or something. So it's a cheaper way. For building out a landing page, I should have come up with another solution for this. I mean, I've used Squarespace, I've used WordPress, I've literally used them all. And that's why I'm always like, you definitely want to use Social Fox. It's so easy. Um, so you'd maybe ClickFunnels, but even that's going to be more expensive than Social Fox, but those are some options there. You could, in theory, use just mini chat for freebies on Instagram. If you're like, I just want to do mini chat right now, you can begin collecting contacts through mini chat that way. And then for classes and webinars, Zoom and Loom. I don't know if you've ever used Loom. Loom is great for screen recording. And so I will actually do a lot of Looms for our students, and for any of our SOPs, I'm definitely using Loom. And then you've also have access to Schedule Once or Calendarly. Those are ones. Yeah, Faith, it's funny Faith just said, I have a friend who made a landing page in Canva. And as I was saying that, I was like, I'm pretty sure you can make it in Canva. So I'm glad you said that, because I didn't want to say that and not have it be right. And so, but the difference is, and here's just something that I didn't realize, I was using a lot of these free programs. When you have your own system, you can then track everything, and it's like you also have your domain. I don't even know what it's called, but you have your own domain, your domain reputation that you're building from that. Instead of some of these other platforms, it's like you're sending them to a Canva site, or you're sending them to a site that's hosted, and the actual site is different than what you want. So, and then if you're like, oh, I just want to build a course out, then I would use something like Kajabi or Thinkific or Teachable, even though those are going to be similar in price to Social Fox. That's one reason why I'm like, you definitely just need to get something that can handle everything all at once. And so there are ways around building it out. What I found was building it out in like a one and done system. What I found was, because I was trying to be cheaper and piece it out, it ended up that I was paying like $700 a month for all of my systems, instead of the $200 that it cost me to use Social Fox. And so if you really want to simplify, I would highly recommend getting into a system that you can rely on over and over again, that is going to have everything in one place. Now, we have opened up our access to, well, we've opened up enrollment, I should say, into our brand new Monetize Your Socials Accelerator. I'm super excited about this program. And this is our beta launch. So if you have followed me for any amount of time, you know that all of our programs are $5,000 or more. And because we're beta launching this one, it's only $997 for a very short time. You get a ton of new bonuses with Monetize Your Social Accelerator. And it's going to be a really, really fun course. This one, because it's beta, we're going to be launching the modules week after week after week. And so you're not going to get everything all at once. I wonder why every time I copy that, it takes me to summer school. Let's try that one more time. This is actually our summer school. There we go. Second time always works. And so you're going to get strategies for subscriptions, digital products, affiliate marketing, monetizing content, sponsored paid or sponsorships, and publishing. We're going to do a strategy module on publishing as well to Amazon. You get a ton of bonuses. I've just listed a few right here. And this will also give you access to a really great group, our Monetize Your Social coaching group. If you're in Lead Masters, we're renaming Lead Masters to Monetize Your Socials, and we're shifting to a weekly training in there. And so that will be where you can come and get all the tech support that you want. I literally, for 4 years, I have taught hundreds of students in our private coaching groups how to build out their systems. And so this is where you bring your questions and we can strategize and build it out together. That is in the Monetize Your Socials coaching group, which you're more than welcome to join. If you're like, oh, I can't do the accelerator right now, you can jump into the coaching group and jump on a weekly basis and listen to our calls. But this is going to be really fun as I share all of these different strategies week after week. And so we would love for you to be a part of that if that's something that's interesting to you. Now, let's talk about our homework for this week, or actually for today. Let me just get on over there to our homework. This one is actually, I went too far. So your homework for this week, or today, sorry, I don't know why I keep saying this week. There's actually, I think, 3 or 4 parts to it. The very first thing I want you to do is I want you to choose 1 or 2 tools to implement from our class today that you want to start using. And maybe if you're like, ooh, I kind of want to do something different. I don't want to use Social Fox, or I don't want to use StreamYard. I want you to research and find the tool that you need for that. Yes, I'm like giving you my shortcut. I've made a ton of, like, I'll tell you, I spent years doing the wrong things. And what I'm sharing with you today is the right thing that was right for my business. And so if you find a different tool that you think will be much more effective for you at this time, I just want you to choose a tool, and I want you to decide to implement that and how that's going to work for you. And then step 2 is I want you to set up your first system. Whether that is creating a workflow, whether that is scheduling a week of social media posts, whether that is setting up a weekly welcome email sequence or creating a chat flow, I want you to set that up. Because I want you to take the action to do that. And maybe you're like, oh, I don't really have an email system. Then I want you to write out your first 5 emails. And I actually would use ChatGPT for this. I would go in there, and in fact, I think we've got a little bit of time. So let me open this up, and I'm going to show you how to really quickly, what used to take us weeks to do at a time, we can now do in a very, very short time. Simply by, okay, let's see. Okay, awesome. So let me add this in. There we go. And then we'll add this in right here. Okay, so what you need to do is something like this. I want to set up 7 days worth of emails for my ideal client. Now you can put this in your ideal client list if that's like, and this would actually be a really great thing to add into that ideal client thing that you did the other day. I want to use a fun, witty, professional voice. I want to share 1 tip each day on how to grow their social media accounts. What are 7? Let's just see what, I don't need to ask anything further. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. And what I'm guessing is, here it is. Here's the 7-day framework. Notice you've got your subject, you've got the body, you've got the tip, everything. And so you can go in here and you can say, hey, I actually want to customize it and add this story in where I tell a story about when I was struggling on social media, and it will take that email one and you can give it the basics of the story and it will make it beautiful. And so these are a little short. And so then you can say, hey, can you make them a little bit longer? Can you add this or that? And literally in 10 minutes, you've got everything you need to succeed to build out that system. So I want you to set up an email. So if that's what you want, or a mini chat workflow or a social media post schedule, something like that. And then I want you to evaluate your current systems. I want you to take stock of the tools you're already using. Are they saving you time? Are they adding complexity? And I want you to identify one to improve or replace with something simpler. So something that can help to make your life a little bit easier. And the perfect example is I used to use a social media scheduler, and then I decided to learn a Facebook business. And I was like, this one is super simple and it does everything that I need. And so I was able to actually eliminate that cost that I was paying and just use what was built into the platform. And then I want you to go in and I want you to share and in the community, share what you are working on and how you're going to improve that system and what you're most excited about when it comes to building out your system. Tomorrow we're going to go through a step by tomorrow's going to be our wrap up day where we take all of these great things that we've been learning over the week. And today you're starting with a little plan. Tomorrow we're going to create a 30 to 90 day plan that you can follow. Mindy, thank you, Mindy, for this comment. I'm so thankful that, and I saw that Sandra's got a comment in here. Vicky, thank you for yours as well. And anybody else who commented and did some sort of a review or it's just something nice about this boot camp. It really helps us in everything that we create to have some of these reviews that we can screenshot and share with the world because we love the thousands of people that we've connected with over the last couple of years. And it's so fun to just like hear how you're learning and if it's helping your business progress. So I want you to come back tomorrow, jump into tomorrow's call where we're going to wrap it all up. We're going to set up a plan for the next 30 to 90 days so that you can start out 2025 with the most success of all. So anyways, thank you so much for being here and we will see you tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be back tomorrow and we look forward to connecting with you then. Okay. Have a nice day. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. We're so thankful for all of our subscribers on there, and we will be back same time tomorrow at noon. Talk to you soon. Bye.